Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 8 of my audio adventures. It's been a little while. Been really busy doing a bunch of work, working on that horror theme, as well as a bunch of schedule changes at my part-time job. But now that that's just about settled, I will now get back into it. Last time I talked about my horror theme, and I finished it up, and I feel as if that turned out very well, but you feel free to tell me everything that you think. I would love to hear your opinions on it. Today, I am going to start talking about the things you need and the things you need to do to get into the music industry. As a note, I have not actually gotten a official contract with anybody yet. I have not been in this industry for nearly as long as some other people, but I still feel as if some information should probably be put out there. Most of the information is going to be information I actually found out myself firsthand. Other information is going to be everything that I've gathered together through the research I've done on the internet. And over the next several weeks or even months, I am going to talk about the things I've found so that other people can, have a resource that is readily available for them. So, let's get right to it. So today I'm going to talk about the most integral part being a computer. Now, if you've watched my previous episodes, you'll know that I use a laptop for my work, but I am under no illusions that a laptop is better than a desktop. They both have their advantages, they both have their disadvantages. So the computer is going to be probably one of your most important decisions as well as one of your most expensive ones. So make sure you do a lot of research as to what you need. If you have the money, get 2 separate computers. One for work, one for play. It's very important because if you've only got one that you use for both work and play, it's very easy to get distracted. However, I know not everybody has the money. I certainly don't. I would assume that most people don't, especially if they're just starting out. So if you can only afford one, pick something that fulfills all of your needs for both your art as well as your fun, like your entertainment. So for me, my next laptop is going to be a powerhouse for both my music work as well as my video games that I play several of. And it needs to be able to play all the video games that I want to play if it's going to be the only system I have. So that means finding something that fulfills your work needs as well as having a good video card, a good sound card, a good processor, good everything. When it comes to just music work, not entertainment, what is it that you look for in a computer? One of the things I always seem to find doing research on the internet is to make sure that the disk write speed is at least 7,200 RPMs. Why is that? It has something to do with recording and sample streaming. And I'm not going to pretend that I know all of the technical aspects of it because I seriously don't. But of the things that I have researched, whenever anybody says anything about what computer you need, the number one thing that everybody says is get a hard drive that has a disk write speed of 7,200 RPMs. So make sure that you do that. Another option is a solid-state drive. And a solid-state drive is a relatively new-ish thing where it's a hard drive that has very, very low capacity, but it's got a really, really high disk write speed. So those work very, very well. Laptop I'm looking at right now has a 1 terabyte hard drive, a normal disk drive, and a 32 gigabyte solid-state drive, which means that I can do all the work that I need to on the solid-state drive and then transfer all the finished stuff to the terabyte. It works out perfectly, being that I can now blend the capacity of a 1 terabyte normal disk drive with the disk write speed of a solid-state drive, which has no disk. Next thing to look at is sound card. You don't need a good sound card because one of the upcoming things I'm going to talk about is a audio interface. And with the audio interface, you don't need a good sound card. However, having a good sound card, if it's good enough to read the audio formats inherent in audio software, then you can actually get away with having a good sound card instead of an audio interface. But I would not suggest it. I would definitely suggest getting an audio interface. Next up is processor. You're going to want I would suggest a dual core processor just for the multitasking. Having the ability to multitask means that your computer will be able to process everything that you're doing faster and more efficiently. And I would suggest a dual core processor with a at least a 2.2 gigahertz speed. That will get you through most everything that you need to get through. And I don't know exactly how important RAM is. Some things I've found on the internet, like some sources say RAM doesn't matter, and I don't know if that's true. In fact, I don't think it is. But RAM is not nearly as important as other things. You could probably get away with 4 gigs of RAM, but if you can, I would get more than that, which luckily most computers come with at least 6 gigs standard nowadays. It's actually relatively difficult for me to find a laptop that has the processor speed and disk write speed that you need but not have the RAM. It's very, very rare. Most everything comes with at least 6 gigs of RAM, if not 8 now. Then comes your choice of whether or not you get a desktop or a laptop. Desktop gives you more bang for your buck, and you can modify it to your heart's content, give it exactly everything you need, and you can even buy a really, really lame desktop as long as it has the capacity to be upgraded, and then upgrade it piece by piece later. And on top of that, you can build your own desktop. That's all cool. A laptop you can't build yourself. It's more expensive for what power you get, but you can find powerful laptops, and on top of that, it gives you mobility. I'm a really huge fan of mobility, but other people might not care. So the choice is yours. I would definitely think long term. Try and make sure that your system lasts you a little while, so that way you're not spending a lot of money on computers over the years. So pick something that'll last you. Pick something high end. That way it supports all the software that you're going to need to be able to support in the future. All right, so I hope that was helpful to you. The next one of these videos that I do, I will probably talk about audio interface and maybe even some other music hardware. In the future, I will also talk about the software you will need to get, and then after that, I will start talking about less necessary things, but things that'll definitely help you out in the future and things that at some point you will need but don't require when starting off. If you have any other things that you would suggest that I talk about, or you would like me to talk about just in general, please let me know, and I will do so. And I hope you have a great day. Talk to you later.